I don't think I will ever properly produce a stream ever again. I think that I've cursed myself at some point this year. Karma caught up to me, and I like to think I'm a good person. I don't think my karma is going to be that heavy on me. I just think it's going to be little shit like this for the rest of my life, where I can't properly produce the longest running show on Love Wrestling, the Brunch Gimmick, here every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. But you know that. You're here right now. Thank you for joining us. Spencer here, joined as usual, I should say, by Laurence and Blair. Hi. We missed you last week, Blair. The Laurence and Spencer show is always a nice little addition, but we missed you.
I missed you guys. It's been a while since I've been here, just with life and stuff, but I saw that I was on the graphic, and I know wrestling is sometimes subject to change, but I mean, by God, we try to stick to it. So I was advertised. I had to be here.
Maybe that's what I should just start doing, is start throwing Stone Cold on our poster, and he's obligated when he's on the poster. Yeah. You do have to show up if you're on the poster. We're just going to start using some Grainmaker logic there. Should be a shirt. I'll just say that right off the bat. But thank you for joining us. If you're here on YouTube, if you're here on the X machine, throw us a retweet, a like, a subscription, all of that sort of good stuff, because not only have we got the Brunch Gimmick here, we've got Blair, who was here yesterday with a great edition of Full Exposure with his best friend, Pluggo. Don't worry, we notice every time. Wow. We've got a lot of great content coming up throughout the week, so make sure you're throwing us that little, it's neat. It's just neat if you subscribe. Please do. Anyways, Laurence. Sorry, maybe I should talk a little bit quieter. I know you were at a bachelorette party last night. How are you doing, Laurence?
I'm fine, all things considered.
All things considered is a pretty apropos way to put it.
Yeah, it was definitely a really fun late night. But yeah, I'm excited for the wedding in 2 weeks. I'll just say that we had a really good time.
Sorry, I just got an interesting message. Ooh. But I'll surprise you with that in a second.
But I'm surprised. Laurence is fired.
Laurence, I'm just pulling up our company policy handbook.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to hear. It is good to see you again this week for the Spencer Laurence and of course Blair show. Blair, I'm glad to see you. I don't believe we've done a stream together, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Since your last little hit on commentary there for Winnipeg Pro. So how you been? How you doing? How was the show?
It's been good. I mean, just had WPW, the Young and the Wrestlers took place. That was a few weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. Speedball Mike Bailey was there, wrestled Chisel Chad Daniels, and put on a incredible match, which is no surprise to anyone.
I was just going to say that's lots of love, but that is that is a very lukewarm take. Yep. Speedball Mike Bailey having a great match.
Who would have thought? So it's been going good. Just been enjoying it, getting ready for the shows this summer, and having a lot of fun doing that, and the podcast and streaming with everyone. It's just been great.
Hell yeah. And make sure I if not all of that show, but most of that show is up on the Winnipeg Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. So make sure you sow some love to our brothers out west. Great human beings over there. But potentially appearing for some independent promotions near you, sooner rather than later, and this is by no means a guarantee. We haven't put them out on a fake poster yet. But rumor has it, and as we did last week, I'd like to kick off with some free agent frenzy. Ricochet, famed Irish wrestler, Ricochet, rumored to be leaving WWE, officially giving his notice as of this point, which I said last week doesn't really surprise me. I think is probably the right decision, but I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts, because if he ends up leaving, he's just another individual that you look at right now. And again, this is purely a speculative show, friends. But you look at a person like Becky Lynch, free agent right now, Natalya, who, again, in discussions right now by all accounts, but hasn't re-signed a contract. Chad Gable, apparently a free agent as of 30-something hours ago, right? So it's a pretty wild time to be a professional wrestling fan with Ricochet, the latest to be added. So, Blair, I'll turn to you. I'll put you on the spot. Ricochet leaving WWE, and is this as easy as he shows up at AEW? I know that's probably the popular theory, but he's another one of the guys that no matter where he goes, I think he's gonna make a splash, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, whether it's AEW or even going back over to New Japan for a bit, I mean, the guy, it's a perfect time for him to be a free agent, because the way wrestling is, I mean, AEW is going to be looking to continue, having the train running along here with how everything's been going with Okada and Mercedes Moné and Oscar and all that. I don't want another piece like that. It would be great. But even if you went to New Japan, TNA, or just did indie runs, the dude is going to have an incredible run. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? And you look at Jinder Mahal, I believe it's Raj Desi as he's going by. But just announced for Black Label Pro as well. And that's another guy who I think is going to really, really make a splash. I love seeing people like this, I don't mean this in any sort of derogatory way, but a Becky Lynch, no matter where she goes, she could show up anywhere and it's going to make a big splash. People like a Jinder Mahal, people like a Ricochet, they've got a real opportunity to reinvent themselves. Like Jinder Mahal's promos, as we introduce our special guest with the neat little message I got here earlier. A Jinder Mahal, it's been very, very cool even to see in his promo work where he's talking from his atrium, it looks like. Neat little background. Talking about how he wants to go out and completely reinvent himself and not just be this big bad heel in spite of, quote, retweeting Sean Ross Sapp, as we bring in the audible chocolate of love, pro wrestling, Big Bad Boris. Welcome to Brunch, Stud. It's good to see you. I always like when I see an old Facebook messenger from you asking for a link to hop in. How you doing?
You just did an inadvertent segue you don't even know you did. You talked about Jinder being a big bad heel. And speaking of big and bad, so you don't even know you did that. I'm
a poet and I didn't even know it. It's 99% of the time when I rhyme in the ring, I don't do it intentionally, but it does work awesomely. Good to see you, Andy. Thank you for hopping in here on this Sunday morning or afternoon, pending your time zone. Zach, good to see you as well. Hope the apartment hunt is going well as well.
And I know Blair needs more Boris in his life.
I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks again too when we do the LPW preview show on 4 Exposures.
I was trying to get Blair out here. I was trying to get Blair out here for a show in the near future, but unfortunately he's already got stuff to do. But
sorry.
Yeah,
I even got the coffee mug gimmick going on here.
Hey, neat! I am the king of dad jokes today.
It's full of Coke Zero because coffee is disgusting.
Yeah, I'm drinking Coke Zero too.
I still think it's too early. 11:11 is too early. Make a wish, everybody. No, I actually, and a nice little segue that I kind of know I'm making. The other mug that I've got for my 2 coffee system is a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Brew mug that I got from the latest addition to the All Elite Wrestling roster. So shout out to friend of the show, Alicia Tudon, signing with All Elite Wrestling. But anyways, back to it, because Boris, I know you were lucky enough to get to see, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but one of the first PWA shows that I remember coming out to in my wee days was the show, I think it was the Resolution Rumble that Jinder ended up making the surprise appearance in.
Oh, the unannounced.
Right after his first release from WWE. So thoughts on him, thoughts on recent free agents hopping into the proverbial wrestling market?
I always love to see Jinder, a great guy, always good to me. Always, seeing him come up through PWA the way he did, and make it big. It's always good to see like the home promotion guys. It's good to see Campaign Singh back on TNA as well. Big fan of him as well. So yeah, always rooting for Raj, and I know he's going to land on his feet and he's going to do some good things.
Lawrence,
and he's jacked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is he ever jacked? Jinder is unhinderable. I know that goes without saying, but always needs to be said. In the ring and in the gym. Sorry, Lawrence.
Yeah. Like from straight up, like I looked at it mostly as like also like a worker's perspective. Like there's no better time for wrestlers to have choice and freedom of where to go. Like it's just great for wrestlers because like you've got all these stars who now are able to negotiate better contracts, and like the indies, like even if they don't sign right away, like they have the freedom to not sign because like they can work independent and make good money for like a good long time. Like they don't have to immediately sign with the company. Like I honestly want to see Ricochet like work a small like a short-term deal with TNA because I would like really love to see what he can do in the X division. Like that would be a lot of fun to watch, and like him possibly going back to New Japan, like that's very exciting to me. And like Jinder Mahal, I really would like to see him on the independents in Canada, like back here, like he especially like what WWE had him like do the last few years, like I could see him like going on a run, like sort of like Mustafa Ali's going on right now. Like he has that ability on the mic and like has the look 100%. Like it would be insane for not like every company to not want to give him money. If like the jokes aside of the AEW signing him in the
Man, they're printing money if they do.
I know.
That's come on, let's just get real. Some things already write themselves.
Yeah.
You got to deliver on that end of things. What is this, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, where everything is just right there in front of you and you ruin it all, you ruin it all. Sorry, trauma. But yeah, I think, to be honest with you, at end of the month, I think it is June 26th. And if I've got that date wrong, well, it wouldn't be the first time. But Raj Desi gets back in the ring, Jinder Mahal for Black Label Pro. Very excited to check that one out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. Well, I think I'll be able to. I might even be wrong on that date.
July 26th.
Thank you. Got the right day. Got the wrong month, which is weird. Numbers aren't usually my strong suit, but 12 of them. Whoever invented the month of July should be stabbed. Good news, guys. See, it's because it's Caesar, you see. He was stabbed a lot. Anyways, professional wrestling.
History.
History. The other thing I wanted to chat on before I move over to you guys. Hey, I kind of liked history. That was my favorite Shakespeare. It's because I was the only one I was ever forced to read. NXT Battleground tonight, which of course will feature the in-ring debut of Ethan Page and Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez. Man, think about and I said this last week too, and I know it's going to just be like, again, the most lukewarm take, but like even a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have thought that any of this stuff was feasible. You really wouldn't have. Like even Mickie James coming over with the Knockouts Championship, like she was a free agent at that point. You know, of course, there's the TNA representation, there's all of that, or Impact at the time. But like now we're at the point where we've got this going on. A couple of weeks from now, we're wondering who's going to be showing up in Montreal for Slammiversary to take Jordan Grace on. I think she looked great in her debut last week. And like, I think it's taken a long time, but NXT is starting to feel, is NXT back?
Yeah. Like I would say
that's what you'll put.
I think they're on their way. Like they did the timing of this of both Jordan Grace and Ethan Page was absolutely perfect because they, like Ethan Page even said in his promo, they lost a lot of people in the draft. Like a lot of like the stars got called up. It just like happens. What happens every time with NXT, like every few years, it's like those main stars who you know are like have outgrown NXT finally move up, and now you've got a hole, and they start like they're not like 100% there yet, but this was definitely a massive move in the right direction. Like yes, Jordan Grace is a like short-term thing. Like it's not going to be like a long-term deal here, but adding Ethan Page was brilliant because you've got somebody to plug in right away to have a feud with Trick Williams and like bring that main event in. Like Jordan Grace brings like so many for both products. Like a lot of people tuned into TNA this week. Like the streamers who usually like stream WWE and just AEW were streaming TNA, which is great for them. Like it brought in a lot of viewers to that show, and like people were like, I was watching people actively discover people on the TNA roster. They haven't seen like people discovering Jake something because of Jordan Grace, because the excitement that's been bringing, or like discovering Speedball, and like oh, Trent Seven's on NXT on TNA now. Like it seems to be very much working and profitable for both companies. And for
that's the thing,
especially for the wrestlers tell, because Jordan Grace is apparently making good money off of it too, which is very exciting for her. Which is like, again, goes back to like workers having the freedom for like it's the first time in a while or probably ever they've had this much freedom of choice and to go with the different companies.
Well, and that's the thing, and you said earlier, and I'm paraphrasing, but like, man, this can't be a one-off, because if this does go well, and like you say, if TNA drew good numbers on this end of things, Slammiversary, as far as I know, ticket sales have been going very, very well for. I mean, no surprise, Montreal, I'm not just kissing ass here, but like Montreal's always got a great crowd. Like, why would you not continue on this end of things? Because you look at the TNA roster right now, like how much sense does it make for a guy like Steve Macklin to show up in NXT? Yeah. After the last year and a half, couple of years with how the release went down, all of that end of things, like how much sense would it make for him to show up? I mean, we can all say Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm sure we'd all agree there that that'd be
Joe
very,
Hendry
very cool.
would just be printing money. Like that dude is so like, especially like in NXT. But like,
I can't stop singing that goddamn song.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say he's another guy, man. If you don't have him at Clash at the Castle somehow, I don't know the logistics to go into making this work. But Joe Hendry's music hitting even just for a musical interlude at some point, again, just makes far too much sense, because you will never be able to replicate anything like this. You know what I mean? Like it's hot right now. You go with the hot hand if you've got the opportunity. It's just please. I guess maybe I'll just quit reasoning and just appeal to the emotional side, please, whomever has the power to make this happen.
Yeah,
please. I believe in Joe Hen. No, there's got to be a pun there. Joe Henge double. No.
6 hours later. I know there's a fun here. I know it. We're not leaving.
Epilogue.
Boris, you're sitting right there and watch us figure out this fun.
The new
see their family.
By the way, Boris, I haven't had a chance to tell you on stream yet. It looks good.
What?
The new Boris Cave.
It's not Boris Cave. It's the surgically designed, technologically advanced Big Bad Boris World Headquarters.
Can you please send that to me for scripting purposes?
Oh, and the light, by the way. There's 3 settings on the light. See, this is for
this again.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the way the room turned out, and I got the new laptop with the new camera and stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing more content, as the kids like to say.
We're gonna have to get you some of the Love Pro posters in there.
I have two. I have two right there.
Speedball Strikes First.
I see them. Now I see them. They're behind they're behind. So on the screen, they're kind of behind the
NordVPN logo
for the brand new partner, NordVPN. Yes, that's right.
Thank you, I actually use
for helping to support this podcast. You and I both. And like I was saying, so I'm gonna let you plug why you use NordVPN, because last time I was on here, I was plugging the fact that they were awesome while I was down in Philadelphia, because lots of love to Disney Plus, but they did not have all of the shows that I wanted to watch on Disney Plus, because I've been ripping through Always Sunny, but it's not on American Disney Plus. So shout out to NordVPN for that. And they also helped us access Monday Night Raw through our Sportsnet subscription, because shout out to Canadian programming. So that's how we ended up getting to watch the Raw after Mania. Big shout out to NordVPN on that end of things. Boris, what's your experience like? Tell us.
It works really well. It's a good interface. It is cost effective, and I mean, that's it. When I'm completely legally downloading things, everything works completely legally fine.
See, and this is why we balance. This is why we balance each other well, is because I tend to ramble. I have my Michael Scott syndrome, as we've talked about often. I'll start a sentence and I'll find myself halfway through. You're clear, you're concise. You just give the reasons for people to do shit. I do that. I just talk a lot longer about it. See, that's why we work well. I want to hop on commentary with you this month.
I just say gross and violent, and then I cash my check.
And what a check it is worth cashing, because we love having the Audible chocolate. Thanks for being here, friend. Anyways, though, Roxanne versus Jordan Grace, real excited on that end of things. I'm also real excited, like I said, for Ethan Page and Trick Williams. Does Ethan Page win this one? Because I think he does.
I don't think so. Not yet.
I don't know how you have him lose it without, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just once bitten, twice shy, but like,
is he sticking around? I don't know, and I don't watch the show, to be perfectly honest. It's one of the things I don't have time for.
As far as I know,
sticking around.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, he signed a contract.
Reputable sources have confirmed.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Blair. You don't win the first one, but maybe you win the second or third one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But I can't.
And like, there were rumors going around that Trick Williams was going to get called up in the WWE draft.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that didn't happen. I think there would be a lot of value to him sticking around in NXT. By no means am I saying this is me like calling or my hot take, but like, maybe it's just my personal, but like, I like when you got a bad guy on top, and Ethan Page is great at it. The way they debuted him, like, he's obviously already made a splash. Yeah, I think it's a situation where you're not even necessarily going with the hot hand, but if you get Trick Williams back in the chase again too, he's only going to benefit. I don't know. I think Trick's a great champ. I would have no issues if he stuck around, even just since, the couple of months that he's been on top. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Call it bias. I got a lot of time for Ethan Page on top of NXT though, man. And I think that he's a guy that you could build, not in a bad way. I just think Trick Williams, with the way he's been through NXT and his run, his sort of arc there is almost over, and you could call him up tomorrow. Whereas Ethan Page is a guy you could build around for another 2-3 years if you wanted to down there.
It is definitely a situation where you could make cases either way, which sometimes nowadays it's very tough with storylines and everything. But like, this is one where, like, the chase is always more exciting than, being victorious. So having Trick lose and still gunning for that championship, I mean, there is something to be said with that. In the same breath that there is with Page, it being his first match and like possibly building more towards a second one where he finally does get the win. So, I mean, as a fan of wrestling, it's nice to have options for possible outcomes and not just know that like, oh, so-and-so is going to win because of whatever.
The only thing that truly matters to me all the time is that Obafemi wins, because that dude fucking rules. And that's truly all I've got to say on that end of things. Like, man, I went to Stand and Deliver while we were down there in Philadelphia. And admittedly, I hadn't been watching a ton of NXT at that point. It was just like, hadn't been watching a ton. And Obafemi just, I can't wait for that dude to come up. I like that guy as much as I used to love Braun Breaker. I still really like Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
But like, when he first came in, it was like, holy shit. And this is still holy shit. I love me some Obafemi. JPJ, good to see you. There are a lot of studs on here. You're welcome to hop in if you would like to. But make sure you throw JPJ some love on the Twitch machine. We're also going to get the NXT North American Women's Championship awarded in a ladder match for the first time. I don't know, again, how much you guys have been watching NXT lately, but like, Sol Ruka, this seems like this is hers to win.
Yeah, like she's like, they're watching her come up through, like, seeing clips on NXT Level Up and just like exploding slowly on like coming at like on NXT, like the main show. Like it's quite clear that she has got like the rocket strapped to her back. Like she's got so much talent, and just like WWE just producing the like the lately the hit ratio has been very good for like these super athletes and making them into like pro wrestlers, because like Sol Ruka is just like it makes no sense the things she can do and like how crisp she makes everything look. Like it's amazing. Like that finisher, that soul snatcher is amazing. Like great variation on like an old finisher. Like I'm very excited. Like I think it's obvious that she's gonna win, because if she doesn't, like like there's great talent all through, but like they've definitely set it up that she is the like going to be one of the faces of NXT going forward the next couple of years.
Don't disagree at all. Blair, Boris, I saw you shrug already. I'm not going to throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to throw you under the bus any more than I do on the last.
I mean, I can make stuff up.
That's fair. You're real good at it sometimes.
When it comes
And on
to
that note,
when it comes to North American ladder match, I mean, there's not much I can add to that. I mean, I'm excited to see what Baszler and Lola Vice will do, considering both of them have MMA backgrounds in a match like this. So I think this has some sneaky potential to be a lot of fun, especially with Baszler heading down to Bloodsport earlier this year. So I think this could really sneak through as like one of the big highlights of the show with a lot of fun matches already on there.
And
those underground matches are a cool ass concept. I quite like them so far, and I hope that this one delivers too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason that it wouldn't, like you say. But there's also been, in the kindest of ways to a wrestler I love in Shayna Baszler, there have also been MMA style matches in WWE that I have not liked, very much whatsoever, that I have thought were bad.
Mhm.
And I just hope that this isn't one of them either. I also am glad that Shane McMahon isn't hosting these anymore.
Bring back the Brawl for All.
Honestly, man, look, this isn't even a hot take.
Yeah.
Like, Raw Underground was the most ridiculous shit in the world,
Yeah.
but some of it was so goddamn funny. Like, Braun Strowman and Daba Kato, I remember just killing myself laughing watching that whole thing. It was fun. It was ridiculous. I have time for some sort of ridiculous fun. I don't think that they needed the Raw Underground dancers. I don't think that there was the need.
What?
For the dancers.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was literally for like a week. They had Raw under, like, literally. It was meant to look. The best way I can describe it is like it looked like Grand Theft Auto, like a strip club.
Yeah.
Basically,
Like,
they took the original TNA dancers in the cages and brought them to Raw Underground.
Pretty well, yeah, like that, but no cages. So they had that, like that. It was ridiculous. Raw Underground was some of the most ridiculous shit in the world, and I loved it.
Wild.
Loved it. Dolph Ziggler on Raw Underground. There was so much potential there.
Yeah.
And then as soon as, here's the thing, is like if you had shown me just Raw Underground and just somehow photoshopped Shane McMahon out of all of it, I would have thought it was way cooler than it ever was. But as soon as you were like, and here's this dude who like two steps and throws these bad punches hosting WWE Bloodsport, like, okay. Love me some Shane O'Mac, but let's not pretend that man should ever be anywhere near Bloodsport. let's just not.
Oh,
it's like Nick Gage hosting like good at what they
I
do.
didn't watch that.
Probably a bad mix. You know what? Yeah, that's probably a poor show.
Yeah.
I'd watch Nick Gage host most things. Let's just get real here. Pat
Wheel of
Sajak.
Fortune.
I was
Yeah,
just
that's-
gonna say Pat Sajak finished up yesterday. There's an opening there.
Are we
Anyways.
past 30 minutes? Can I swear?
Oh, you can, Boris.
Because
I'm
like
gonna
in my
blow
brain,
your,
I'm
Boris.
like
I'm
thinking,
gonna blow your mind here, brother. You can curse after 10 to 12 minutes.
I'm like thinking about Nick Gage hosting Wheel of Fortune now, and I'm like, spin this motherfucking wheel. I love you contestants, and you fucking know that. That's good stuff.
Fucking bankruptcy bullshit. Fuck bankruptcy. You get $500.
Brett, pay the man.
Yeah.
Nick Gage also did not appreciate my karaoke. Great guy. I wouldn't appreciate my karaoke. I'm not that good at it. Anyways, sorry, I'm just getting this loaded up, and I was trying to distract from the fact that it would post up like that. If you guys want to check out the full edition of LPW 26, The Clothesline, featuring the dulcet tones of that gentleman, that gentleman right there, the Audible Chocolate of Love Pro Wrestling, Big Bad Boris, head over to IWTV, independentwrestling.tv. throw them your money, because not only are you going to be able to tune in to over 23 Love Pro Wrestling events, but you can check out the largest library of independent professional wrestling on the planet. There's lots of great stuff on there. Lots of our friends are on there. Go in and support. But selfishly, maybe tune into our latest event first. It was pretty damn good. Bussy was in town for the first time. I'm very proud of my copy for the match right here on youtube.com/lovewrestlingca, because it opens up with, on May 31st, Love Wrestling got its first taste of Bussy. And I tee-heed to myself very, very hard. And you know what, guys? I fucking think deservedly so. Am I wrong?
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I've earned that one. I earned that one. Thought it was pretty good. Anyways, tune into the full event on IWTV. However, we are tuning in as
Following contest.
Whoa.
Loud
Jesus, Spencer,
fucking ring
yelling at
announcer.
me.
Tone it down.
Oh, it looks
This
like I'm
guy-
wearing a NordVPN hat.
Yeah. Like a NordVPN hairpiece.
You
Like-
look like
I never
You look
looked
like-
better.
you
Just
look like
brushing
the
back my
Wario
silky
version
bangs.
of Boris. Like-
Oh, I'm totally into emo Boris here.
Dude, I need like payment for this. I look so good right now.
Well,
Don't waste your time.
I'm so sorry.
I like how all of us went with different Blink 182 songs.
It's kind of like a emo meets Beatles mop top George Harrison kind of thing I got going on.
fell in love with the girl at the rock show.
Like a real long Wario style sort of NordVPN mustache.
And I fucking hate Blink 182, by the way. I'm afraid to move now. I look so good.
Well, I
Maybe
disagree
you
with
hate
your...
Fun, not Dash.
I
I'm
disagree with your
like very
opinion on
music
Defended
snobby, and I come across like such a douche, but whatever. It is what it is.
Jeez.
No, that's
okay.
a band I never got.
Hey, I'll message you about it. Come see a punk show with me next Thursday at the Buck.
Who's playing?
Mike Carroll's band, one of our.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's go do that. Let's go solve some of the world's problems. Heck yeah!
All
right,
I look so good.
I'm. You know what? I will say NordVPN, great product, but I think that this is probably the best sales job they've ever had.
Yeah.
Lots of outstanding things from NordVPN. Gave Boris hair.
Including
we go.
hair pieces.
Anyways, this is from LPW 26, the clothesline, last Friday, May 31st at the Rec Room, South Edmonton Common. That right there. Good looking ring announcer. Good looking ring announcer. I will say it is far too hot to be wearing a jacket in the Rec Room right now, but it fits my idiom. I have to wear it. Anyways, this is Rich King versus the Thickness Reid Matthews, our third contest on the card, scheduled for one fall.
Scheduled for one fall.
As I've just filled you in.
Will be refereed by Love Pro Wrestling Senior Official.
Ben did a great job ring announcing on Thursday night.
I agree. I really do agree. I like having other people host that show.
Ring announcer.
I really do. Not just for the fact that I enjoy just watching the shows, to be honest with you. It's nice to be able to see our product from a different view, but it's nice for everybody to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not flexible, but it's nice for everybody to have different skill sets. I'd love to learn how to do production a little bit better, because I actually sat up and helped produce this show, or the Thursday night show this month, right? I'd love to commentate more. It's nice. Transferable, that's the word I'm looking for. Nice to have transferable skills. Other than wrestling, I'm never wrestling.
It's hard.
Yeah, you've had how many matches? You're a former tag team champion.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12. Mostly battle royals though, where I was out first, and I'm fine
Do you
with
have a
that.
cage? Do you have a cage match page?
I don't. And the funny thing is, the on the cage match, when I did win those tag team titles, I am listed as Boris the Bruiser, which I have never been called in my life ever, and I don't know where that came from.
You are going to be now.
Tex Gaines and Boris the Bruiser win tag team champion. Yeah, it's so weird.
Quadruple B.
Just gonna
Big Bad Boris the
make
Bruiser.
a note to change your name on the LPW preview show.
I think when I have this hair on, this is the Boris the Bruiser gimmick.
Yeah.
I was going to change the layout, but you know what? Not a chance. No, I'm not going to do that whatsoever. Love Rich King's music. I will say, the one thing, I have to share revenue with whichever band this is a cover by, because of YouTube, you see. So I'm just going to continue talking as this entrance happens, because then I potentially won't have it picked up by the YouTube censors, and that's that. Yeah, it just helps me. I can get the full monetization. There's a look at how the sausage is made, everybody.
Another packed house at the Rec Room.
And it's going to be again this month. Pick up your tickets for LPW 27 Slam Unreal. I'm so happy we finally got to do an Against Me poster.
There is a promo from Alan Angels on social media right now from Prestige, where he's covered in blood and yelling at Evil Uno, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I'm like, MRB better watch that, because it's going to be go time.
Yep. I was going to say, I'm very, very happy. And this has happened a few times through Love Pro, is like, I'm very happy that I feel like we're getting Alan Angels right on the precipice of like a real great run. Like, already the guy's been tearing it up for the last year and a half, or about that since choosing to leave AEW. But like, I figure, you see promos like that and you figure it's going to be like next level stuff real soon. Like you saw the match with Reid Matthews there at 24, right? Got to see that live and in the flesh. It's always cool to see a great guy. Again, we talked earlier about some of the free agents there, whether Jinder Mahal or Ricochet or whomever. Like, Alan Angels is one of the first, well, not one of the first ever, but like, he bet on himself, and leveled up since. Anyways,
I think when after AEW became a thing, I mean, he was one of the first to really be like, I'm gonna bank on myself and put in the work and see what I can do. So I mean, I think that's massive when you look at it. I think he's done a very good job.
Yeah, dude rules.
Reid Matthews like a walking planet.
And now joined in TNA, again, a quick shout out to Center Insane, who have made a couple of appearances there over the last couple of weeks, which is, again, very, very cool to see.
I'm enjoying the TNA program right now.
It's been really good. I've always quite enjoyed it. Obviously, and I think this is the case with every program. There's always going to be stuff that ain't to your personal taste, but I'm quite enjoying them.
You get it.
Rep.
Here I thought, right?
Thank you.
When Reid Matthews knew every thick in the book.
I was shocked, to be honest with you, with how long both of these guys have been wrestling in Alberta, that this was the first time they'd had a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
Almost testing each other, hey? Like, there's a bit of a feeling out process.
I believe next month as well is the first time Larry and Reid have gone one-on-one.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I'm just going to no-sell that and move on with my life.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the Oilers score last night.
That's the rumor.
Wasn't that great? I
was
love
about to
Darren
ask
Hennigan.
Boris, how are you feeling about the Oilers in the
Beautiful.
finals right now?
I mean,
Hey,
I
how are
feel
you feeling
sad
about
because
how are you feeling about Montreal and Calgary?
the girlfriend is a big Oiler fan, so I'm worried that her little heart's going to break. But I loved every second of that game last night. It was tremendous.
Changing things up. They're refocusing.
That's fine. I've enjoyed Calgary's recent playoff games as well.
They're going to take on Wolfboy Will.
I know better. I just keep my mouth shut in this discussion. I'm not taking any Oiler jabs.
I
You
have
see all
no
these,
ill
you
will
see
to
all
the
these
Oilers.
people in
That's all I
Vancouver
have.
right now, mad at Oilers fans.
All the teams I've hated got eliminated from the playoffs, which good job wasting time. We just got a better draft pick. We won the same amount of Stanley Cups this year.
Hey, we didn't have a first-round draft pick this year, anyways.
Mind games.
That's fine. We'll go through it. It's fun. I like it. Because last night we played well. We got goalied. Bobrovsky rules. I will.
In my
I was gonna say I've loved Bobrovsky since Jay and Dan
Yeah.
their original run. I can't even be mad when we get goalied by a guy like that. Like Jake Ottinger, great goalie. If we got goalied by him, I would have been a lot more frustrated. Last night, Bobrovsky goalied us. But like, all I can think is Brovsky's on the case.
Yeah.
How can I be mad when he's on the case?
I think his series is far from over.
I do too.
Yeah.
You get a half count, and Reid Matthews looks at you
Because I
Rich
do, and I
King
don't
looks
think this is the homer. My goodness, I have really enjoyed both of these guys always, but like this year, again, talk about people really leveling up. Like, man, Rich's match against MRB this year was fantastic. I really enjoyed this one.
Not that one.
Like, it's insane, and you'll see it later in here too. But like that jump that Rich does from sort of the middle of the floor to the top rope,
I'm
is
waiting for
nuts.
that too, because just every time that happens, I'm like, damn, that is like
It's nuts.
athleticism on another level. I can't
even
jump
here,
and
too.
run onto the bottom rope
Hard right to the jaw.
while holding
I can
on to
hardly-
the top rope.
Buddy, I can't even step through the second rope. I get made fun of for that all the time. And then there's some point here too, like, man, Reid's dive onto Rich in this match, like he nearly hits the back wall. It's nuts. There's two great pro wrestlers.
King slow to get up, using those ropes to try to get back.
And Reid is deceptively agile for a dude that's built like that. Like,
Oh yeah,
busts out all this like speedy stuff all the time. I'm like, damn.
Being held up
Dude
by that
rules.
top rope right now. The judge
I remember a fresh baby-faced Reid Matthews coming into PWA with the short hair, and all these years later, he's a man.
I believe he is still the Mayhem champion.
that cannonball in the corner.
Longest reigning.
Pulled his pins out before he goes bowling. Signature piece of
Well, Sean
offense.
Spears is still the Commonwealth champion, if I remember
That
correctly.
is correct.
Matthews charging in.
Wonder if we'll see that defended on Tuesday nights.
King had that scouted. Maybe he's playing mind games there earlier. Nothing but turnbuckle.
One day.
Might be the big mistake that King can capitalize on. There's a drop kick of his own. I think Rich sucked him right in there. Nice drop toe hold. King stringing together some high impact offense. Floats over to that front channel.
I watched the Bussy match last night.
I mean,
and yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
With his power, and now he can outsmart you too.
It's always just fun to hear a sentence using that word. It really is.
Ring apron. Maybe he's better off without
What's
those
on?
rags
Pussy.
That are always. Man, slingshot into that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That's
Leaving him out.
that's one of the most fun matches I think we've ever had in Love Pro. And just again, huge shout out to Effie, huge shout out to Ali Catch. Like, Effie coming up for the first time was a pleasure. Having Ali Catch back was a pleasure. Just great human beings as well,
Yeah.
too. And real excited to hopefully, because I'm going to be in Toronto. Lawrence, you're going to be in Toronto as well for Money in the Bank next month. So we're really hoping to get out there for GCW in Toronto as well.
Yeah.
So here's to hoping that the first time having them, or I guess the first time getting, because I'd never gotten to see either of them wrestle live prior to them coming up to Edmonton for their first couple of matches here. So
Right where he wants him for something.
very excited. Hopefully it's a lot shorter distance in between, or time in between.
The last time I saw them live, like I went to them afterwards, and I said the very tough sentence after their amazing death match, like the death match main event they had against IWS. Like Manny, like I told Effie, like I think I got glass in my cardigan. 'Cause-
That's
Hey,
tremendous.
so glass in my card. That sounds like almost Velma like.
Yeah.
My glasses.
There we go. That's a little close.
My cardigan.
Like I'm like fucking Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear wears a raincoat
Yeah.
and eats marmalade.
I was also eating marmalade at ringside.
I got glass in my marmalade.
I don't know if I've ever had marmalade. I don't know.
I think it's
I do think
like
after this-
orangey, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so too.
There's a thickness
I don't
starting
know.
to stir, and that spells all kinds of bad news.
Never
for the
really-
man from the Yukon. Digging deep. Man, that elbow
Never really.
right
I don't know. Never been on the priority list, I suppose.
now. Reid firing back.
Got any
with the
marmalade
ball.
fans in the chat? Let me know. Anyways,
What I said about that powder keg? It's going off in a big way. Boom.
I also love Reed's new gear.
Rich is on
Yeah.
Dream Street, Boris.
Look at the
He
thickness.
hit
My
him with
God.
that spear into the corner.
God damn it, pal. That's some good shit.
Drop buster. And he
Boom.
the world. We talked about walking flat, and he hit him with
The
world.
world. That is what the knee is called. Hit him with the world.
Showing some wherewithal, kicking out.
You think I don't listen to your commentary, Boris? Come on.
Talk about how hard it is to keep the thickness
Well,
down.
at least somebody is.
Hard to surmise the same thing
Hey,
with Rich King.
I like your commentary.
I have
You guys are
fun.
quite good at it.
I enjoy what I do.
And it's nice to have both you and Dash. It's always nice when you've got like the duo. I liked it like when Thad was first doing it with you, or even when we had Stuart Garvey there while Garvey was out with I think it was an ankle injury or something like that.
Knee or yeah, something like that.
Yeah, knee sounds correct. Lower body injury as the hockey world would put it.
LBI.
An LBI. It's always just nice to have somebody to bounce off of. You're a really great solo commentator, but like I think any commentator is better with a person to play off of.
Yeah.
As frustrating as you and Dash may find each other sometimes.
Is this the dive of doom?
Yeah, this is nuts. Like just no hesitation, all gas, no brakes. Boom. Like 4 rows of seats, and he hit the back row of it.
What a catapult. That was
Yeah, rightfully so. I will also say shout out to Nick Malachuk for getting that on camera just splendidly.
Yeah, great shot for sure.
Like just good work on all of it.
We got a good crew of everybody that all the stuff that gets done. Really, really good.
I completely agree, man. Like we're very lucky to be surrounded by great people.
Maybe less. Look at the look on the face of the Thickness Reid Matthews. You can't believe that didn't get it done. Look at the fortitude on Rich King. How do you keep
the fortitude?
Nobody can get on top of
That's a $10 word.
Absolutely impressive ability to take punishment and keep coming back. Rethinking his strategy. I don't know. Does he want to go up top again?
Dash is
I hate
also
that hard
developed
camera
quite
shot
well
because
on
all I see is
commentary.
my bald spot.
How do you think Larry feels?
Yeah, but his bald spot's over. Mine's just there.
That was actually I quite enjoyed, even in spite of I don't know. Follow me on Twitter or X, but so I had thought that the entirety of LPW 26 had exported, and I've learned my lesson obviously. But I deleted all of like the actual export, like the build file. Deleted all of that before I went to upload the. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
This is
that's
also nuts though.
crazy. Yeah, the whole thing is nuts.
Yeah, just goodbye. Ouch town population, you bro.
Yeah, I felt your pain when you were tweeting about that because I've had that happen in the past too with corrupt files and stuff, and I had like.
Oh man, I was ready to cry. I was ready to cry, but then I persevered and I didn't cry. I just sort of shouted the F word a few times.
Yeah. Yep.
But not much you can do. See, he is thick as F word.
Rich King, tough as you know what. I don't want to say it. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get fired. Stop.
You wouldn't get fired.
I try
Not
to
for
keep
that.
cursing to a minimum unless there's something really.
I've heard you earlier
first-worthy.
that you use as many per show as I do. So sometimes
I used to
you've
do
had
more,
the
but I've
benefit of
cut
the
back.
doubt.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I used to do more. That was a piece of advice that I was given, is that I curse too much. A piece of advice from someone who would be who should feel very authorized to give that advice.
I was smart on Rich King. He took that knee right in the air just so that he could grab him at the right time to pull off that counter. Speaking of counters, just shrugged off that drop kick through the legs. Though goes King.
Yeah, these guys can go, man. This is a good match.
Right?
Like, I remember liking it on the night and watching it back. Like, yeah, it's
You can
good.
really see how much both of these competitors want it, right? Like Reid the Thickness Matthews coming off his only loss of the year.
And Reed's
Yeah, man, that's all good
well,
stuff.
both. I was just gonna say, and both. I was going to say Rich, and then I said Reed as a Freudian slip. So both of them, like they are consistently both adding just new stuff to their repertoire.
It's a good shot with the screen in the background too. That they got working.
It's not close.
That's some good framing, pal.
I don't know how much longer.
God damn it.
Bringing his knees forward to get his knees underneath him. He's gonna try to pick him up.
Also, since we've shouted out pretty well everybody, shout out to Judge Ben Oman because that dude's an excellent referee.
Oh, fantastic.
Between our 3 regulars, like I genuinely believe we've got the 3 best referees you can find. And we've been very lucky with any of the people we've brought in, whether it be Curtis Barnum or Joe King or Curtis, like, or Colton G. That was who I was going with. I was like, I said Curtis twice.
Gonna win this matchup, and he damn well earned it. He earned it, all right.
How does your voice feel by the end of the night?
You know what? End of the night, I'm usually okay. The next couple of days, I'm always
Yeah.
bad. I'm usually the recovery days. I'll usually get through on the night of. You can tell, though, there have been a few, like LPW 20. At the end of it, when Larry won, you can tell that my voice is just shot. But we had a lot that show. Because that was actually, obviously, talking about Ben Oman, that was the last time that he managed the Rads.
Mm-hmm.
Larry won the title from Zoe. Like, that was one of our, like, real flagship shows, I think. There are some shows you can just point at and love pro history that you can look at and just say, yeah, that friggin' ruled, and yeah, that friggin' ruled. So 20, I was real bad at the end. I have gotten better, though. YouTube is like some breathing exercises and stuff like that, and I like to. I don't as much as I should, but I still try and get better for it every show. And it has helped having 2 shows in a row now because hosting 2, you gotta pace yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and all that same advice that your parents used to tell you about drinking. That was Rich King versus Reid Matthews. You can find that full match if you want to hear it without us talking over it. If you want to watch along yourself at home, feel free to stay on this channel following the conclusion of the Brunch Gimmick. Tune into that right here on youtube.com/lovewrestlingca. But not only that match, we've got quite literally every match from every Friday night event that we have ever hosted up here on YouTube. If you want to subscribe and get our Thursday shows as well too, LPW, and our collaborations with the Clandestine Wrestling Society, head to our Patreon, patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. You're not just going to get that, you're going to get new editions of the LPW show. I know that Blair's got one coming up with the former LPW Challenge Champion, the former LPW Grand Champion, the intangible Zoe Sager. Right now, though, you can head there for an edition with Alan Angels, and I'll plug the rest of our stuff here in a bit because, guys, man, that was fun. It's always nice to see you guys, whether or not I was expecting to see you in the case of Laurence and Blair, or whether or not we get a nice little treat and a quadruple B hopping on for the show.
Boris the Bruiser.
Big bad Boris the Bruiser. I'm gonna get you 2 name tags. It's gonna say hello, my name is, but it'll just be long enough that we'll need 2 of them for the next show.
I like it. With my NordVPN hair, it's a whole new me.
I will give you the honors, friend, if people want to keep up to date with the latest and greatest from Big Bad Boris the Bruiser.
You can find me on the X Twitter machine at BB Boris. I'm on the Instagram at BBBoris1. I was down at Remax Field for the home opener of the Riverhawks on Friday night. Had a great time when I was picturing that ring at home plate, and I'm super like, I'm a big baseball guy, so I'm actually like almost in a weird way more excited for that than I was for, and like no disrespect for the hockey game, just I'm a big baseball guy, and
yeah.
You know, I used to love those old Ring of Honor, Field of Honor shows were always a lot of fun. I remember Young Bucks running the bases into a super kick at home plate and stuff like that, so I'm really looking forward to that. And we might have something that we're working on, right, Spencer? For me, something
we do. I was just gonna say you will sooner rather than later be able to see Big Bad Boris here on Saturday nights. But Boris, we'll have you back on the Brunch Gimmick when you want to officially reveal on that end of things. Please remind me as well. I've got to send you over the official poster here for the Slugger Slam. We had the one that we launched is the big. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do that right now. I'm going to do it later. My internet was lagging earlier. Lots of love to my internet provider, but I had to have a very stern phone call with them a couple of days ago about how bad my internet in my home has been. I haven't been able to put Bluey on for my dog when I go to do my running around, and you know how much my dog loves Bluey. I don't even care if I can't watch anything while I'm in my bedroom. I'll just like play Pokemon or something. But like, if Rip doesn't get to watch his stories, that's when
trouble.
That's when Spencer gets. That's when heads roll. Anyway,
thanks for letting me come hang out, though, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Of course, you are always welcome to, my friend. We will be back same bat time, same bat channel next week. You know where we're going to be. Laurence,
Yeah.
If people want to find out where you're going to be outside of obviously this 11 a.m. or I guess 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. time slot for you,
Yeah.
where can the people find you?
At KartSandyG on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Been streaming a lot of games. You say I'm gonna set it up so I can start streaming wrestling matches soon. But yeah, you can catch people playing Crash Bandicoot yesterday and getting very mad very quick, as I am not good at video games and was dying a lot.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That just sucks.
Yeah.
Blair, where can the people find you, whether it's the podcast, whether or not it's the commentary, or whether or not it's just on the social media?
Well, you can find me every Saturday with my good friend Pluggo doing 4 Exposure here on the Love Wrestling YouTube page. You can find me up on all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. Dropped a podcast with the WPW Heavyweight Champion Tyler Colton. And next week, going to be joined by one half of Moral Panic from out in BC. They have been tearing it up out there. 2 guys to watch for. So I got one of those guys coming on. And then I got no... I do have commentary on the 20th in North Dakota. So heading down there for...
North Dakota?
Yeah.
Mountain Mama. Oh, wait, that's the wrong place. Sorry.
Yeah.
Close enough. So I think I'm doing some commentary down there.
That was so bad.
If
Hey, the
not,
syllables work, man. Why not?
My singing is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's what's bad. My singing is always bad, but it was also bad there. Am I wrong?
no, it wasn't that bad.
Thanks, Blair. I wasn't even fishing
You
for
signed the
that.
checks, man. It sounded great.
You know what? I like the sound of that. And you can find the rest of us and the best of us wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or excellent contents created by excellent people at Love Wrestling CA. As I mentioned, you can find each and every Love Wrestling match right here on YouTube. I'm still uploading and we're still releasing the matches from 26, so don't call me out for that one. If you want them all right now, you can head to IWTV, independentwrestling.tv, for not just Love Pro Wrestling, but the widest library of independent professional wrestling in the world. And you can find us back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern next Sunday for the Brunch Gimmick. But in between that, we've got Between Two Beards, we've got 4 Exposure, Firmly AEW, a whole lot of great content coming your way starting tomorrow, as Monday Night Shaw returns to Love Wrestling with an exclusive interview with Boris's commentary partner. We've got to find something. I was going to say the Audible Vanilla, but I don't know. That makes him sound boring, and he's a great guy. So tomorrow with Big Bad Boris's commentary partner, the co-Audible Chocolate of Love Pro Wrestling, Dash in the Park. Tune into that tomorrow right here on YouTube. But until next week, friends, unless I hop in, I will see you next week for Lawrence, for Blair, for Quadruple B. I've been Spencer. I'll continue to be Spencer, and we will see you next week. Where's the extra? Where's the extra?